Space has been invaded by dark matter. However, hope still persists.
Say the change! Strategy!
Then a lucky guy intrudes and helps our heroes. We're introduced to Lucky, who's told that the 9 warriors will find the Kyutama and team up to become the Kyurangers and save the universe from Donna Marge. Unluckily, the Kyurangers recruited right now are Hammy, Spada, and Champ. They travel on the spaceship Orion, piloted by Raptor
283.
So Lucky takes it upon himself to find the rest of the team through the power of luck. Lucky goes to some random planet, and of course, just so happens to come across a furry who already has a Kyutama. They have a BL moment on the beach, as Lucky tells a furry, named Garu, to find the strength to fight against dark matter. The Armada arrives, and Lucky also finds the resolve within himself to become a Kyuranger. Then Lucky accidentally summons his mech. And then, Garu decides to fight again and transforms. And then, the team combine their mechas. I know this is coming off a little stilted, but that's just kinda how the episode goes. Things happen pretty quickly with so much going on. With that done, Garu and Lucky officially become Kyurangers. On another planet, 2 thieves notice that dark matter has a bounty out for Lucky and the team. Episode 2. A couple of thieves see how much of a bounty are placed on the Kyurangers. These thieves are Balance, a robot, and Naga, who acts like a robot but just needs to learn about emotions. Meanwhile, Raptor explains to Lucky and us the viewer about dark matter and their leader, Donna Marge. The universe is vast, and each Kyuranger comes from a different galaxy, which has Lucky throw a dart to a random galaxy to find their next team members. Luckily, Lucky finds the BN Thieves, the duo from the opening. Balance, Naga, and Lucky investigated dark matter building, when Balance knocks out Lucky to give him up for the bounty. A thief isn't to be trusted, and even with Naga's lack of emotions, he still wants to learn about what makes a true friend. After being tired of Balance constantly making the decisions for him, Naga decides to join Lucky's side, being a true friend who wants to stop dark matter. Balance reflects to how he did consider Naga a true friend. Balance just took advantage of his hidden kindness. With that, Balance rescues Naga and Lucky, transforming to become Kyurangers.
Strategy! Kyuranger!
Ugh, I'm never escaping Pen Pineapple Apple Pen. Super cool fighting later, and Naga and Balance officially join the team. Episode 3. Champ dreams of a cloaked person with a tail. Yeah, that's it. It'll definitely be important later. Speaking of important, the Kyurangers commander arrives, Shoronpo.
Hello, everybody!
Hello. And he brings brand new toys. The team are told of another planet invaded by dark matter, so they transform and check it out. However, a man with a scorpion tail arrives to decommission Balance. This is the same man Champ saw in his dream, so he immediately wants to fight to avenge the professor. This man, named Stinger, is also already a Kyuranger. Most of the team are stung by Stinger, and Champ tells us their backstory. Champ was made by Professor Anton to fight back against dark matter. Then one day, Champ saw the professor die after Stinger stood over his body. Champ immediately wants to fight again, but Lucky gets in their way. He just has a lucky hunch. Then dark matter appears, and so does Raptor. No, that's adorable. Stinger helps in defeating the dark matter goons, while the rest of the team start feeling good enough to join a mecha fight. After the battle, Stinger gets away, promising to fight the Kyurangers again. Episode 4. Raptor rescues the Kyurangers, but it turns out to be a daydream, as she talks to her uncle, the spaceship Orion. More importantly, Shoronpo introduces the Kyurangers to the main world they're gonna save, Earth. Even though this is a throwaway line, it's basically the real life reason why not everyone will be going to Earth every episode. Now it's time for the Q-Let chants. While on Earth, Spada notices that Raptor is sad that she's given a mission to find Peaches. Spada feels that Raptor has a big dream, one of being a Kyuranger. In a great scene, some of the people on Earth tell the Kyurangers to stop trying to help, because they're just letting the monsters steal people's dreams. Literally. But Lucky says that they're gonna keep trying to be their saviors, because without a dream, you may as well be dead. This has Raptor open up, revealing her dream of becoming a Kyuranger. So she becomes one. And the day is saved. 5. Shodompo is about to send the Kyurangers out on a mission, but the team are concerned about not having their 9th member yet, although Lucky is more worried about the people of Earth. When the team fights some of dark matter, a couple of kids show up, Kotaro and Jiro. They're big dreamers who wish to liberate the Earth themselves. A dark matter general has Stinger take the children as prisoners, when Stinger sees how much the brothers care for each other, just like how Stinger had his own brother, who betrayed his own people. The next day, the Kyurangers offer up their Kyutama for the children, when Stinger stops the attacks from dark matter. Turns out, Shodompo had Stinger work as a spy this whole time. The 9 Kyurangers transform. And the day is saved. 6. Before being sent on their next mission, Hammy asks who the leader of the Kyurangers are. So Shodompo offers a challenge. Whoever can accomplish the most in the mission will be the leader. In this district, dancing is prohibited, unless it's led by dark matter. Lucky also gets a Kyutama forced on him, and Shodompo officially designates Lucky the leader. Then the Kyurangers dance to prepare for their next battle. And we get introduced to 2 new generals, Ikagen and Marako. Their previous general had a name, of course. He was just defeated in a couple episodes. So now you know these guys will last at least a little longer. Later that night, Hammy seems upset that Lucky is the leader, thinking simply because he relies on luck to get by. But Sho shows her that Lucky has been training all day, putting in hard work to lead the team. So the Kyurangers learn the dance that will help free the district, and the day is saved. 7. A dark matter monster is stealing birthdays. Coincidentally, it's also Balance's birthday, so he uses that himself as bait to lure in the monster. Unfortunately, his birthday is stolen, so Balance can't celebrate it as much as everyone else wants to. Naga learns that these special days aren't only for the person born, but for the people surrounding them. Lucky says it's in a way like saying, "We're happy you're here," which is an extremely nice sentiment. More monsters start attacking, but this isn't dark matter, it's Space Shocker. So we're given a promotional toy for Kamen Rider X8.
I'm a Kamen Rider.
Be sure to watch Cho Superhero Tyson in theaters March 2017. The birthday monster is defeated and the day is saved. Everyone say happy birthday to Balance on 3. 1, 2, happy, did you actually say it? 8. The Kyurangers start an assault on 5 dark matter districts at once, which sounds like a good idea at first, but Spada is having some doubts. During the battle, Spada heads to the ground when he notices people in need of help, specifically people who are hungry. Spada explains that dark matter attacked his homeworld, so he was left to cook for his family, which is how he learned to make great food. Meanwhile, Stinger finds Kotaro, who wants to fight dark matter, so he's led to safety on the Orion. Spada heading down to the ground also splits up the team, weakening them all having to fight separately. Ikagen and Marako take this opportunity to fight several of the Kyurangers, so Shodompo takes it upon himself to fight. 9. Sho only fights long enough for the rest of the team to escape, except for Spada, who willingly stays behind. Back at base, Stinger says he didn't know about Shodompo being a Kyuranger, and Kotaro plays paper globe scissors to become one too. He loses. Sho explains that he himself rebelled against dark matter a long time ago, but wasn't officially a Kyuranger, so he created his own transformation system. That system had a time limit, but Sho pushed through, at the cost of his own commander protecting him and losing his life. Sho and Lucky share a moment, with Sho saying Lucky is just like him, rushing headfirst to be a hero. Although, Lucky says his own luck is also what helps him make the right decisions. With the power of friendship, Sho's Kyutama asks him for a wish, and of course, Sho wishes to fight alongside the Kyurangers. Now with the cool cloak. Marako is defeated and the day is saved. Now that there are 10 Kyurangers, they're gonna become Uchi Sentai Zyuranger. Never mind. 10. Kotaro tries different Kyutamas to try and become a Kyuranger, though Stinger is against it, only bringing Kotaro on board to save him. Lucky brings Kotaro back to Earth, who happens to take a Kyuranger changer along with a certain Kyutama. During a fight, the Kyutama is used, and awakens the soul of Commander Big Bear, Sho's mentor. Lucky explains that Sho became a great commander, then Big Bear, agrees, and with the power of friendship, allows Kotaro to transform. And the day is, saved. Back on the Orion, Big Bear asks Shoal if they found something called the Argo, which is the secret to destroying dark matter. 11. Lucky finds out that he didn't win the sweepstakes, and the radio announces that Leos will be unlucky. Lucky isn't lucky after all? Until he's selected by the Q-let. Anyway, the Argo is a spaceship made of 3 Q-tamas, and with it, maybe they can defeat dark matter. Shoal isn't quite sure, but he believes it'll at least offer great power. So far, they only have one of the Q-tama needed to find it. On the ground, Kotaro stowed away to go on the mission, which upset Stinger more than expected. Real quick, during a fight, Marako is regenerated. Stinger pulls Kotaro to the side and explains why he's been more strict lately. As explained before, Stinger had a brother who betrayed them, and Stinger doesn't want Kotaro getting hurt. Kotaro understands, and the two have a mutual respect for each other. Meanwhile, Lucky forces himself to fight Ikagen to prove that this is not an unlucky day, but Lucky loses his fight, as well as the second Q-tama needed for the Argo. Lucky takes this loss to remember why he doesn't want to be unlucky. 12. The team's next mission is to defeat Ikagen, knowing that he's using some sort of foresight ability to fight. They use the Q-let, and for once, Lucky is not chosen. The ground team fight Ikagen, when Shoal realizes that all 11 Kyurangers are needed to fight Ikagen's 10 eyes. A Kyuranger Q-tama drops from the Q-let, meaning the entire team are able to go down to Earth. But Lucky refuses, no longer believing he has the will to fight. Lucky reveals his backstory, how he was separated from his parents and ended up on a backwater planet. Shoal says it wasn't Lucky's luck that got him this far, it was his faith in himself. Garu then punches Lucky, like he did so long ago, having the entire team believe in Lucky's luck. And so, with his newfound resolve, Lucky clones himself more than enough times to stop Ikagen's foresight. Lucky believes himself to be unlucky, but he'll keep saying Yosha Lucky until it becomes true. Ikagen is defeated, and the Argo Q-tama is taken by the Kyurangers. Unlucky number episode 13. Kotaro is being sent for training off-planet, meaning his actor has to go to school. A ground team of Kyurangers see people have turned into mindless zombies, as if they were poisoned. Hammy gets stung, and Stinger cures it, immediately getting the feeling he knows who's responsible for this. We cut to Stinger's brother Scorpio, who swears fealty to Donna Maraga, and is given power to become a monster. Stinger shares his feeling that his brother is on Earth, and explains that Scorpio was the one who killed Professor Anton. The Kyuranger shares Stinger's antidote to cure the civilians around them. Meanwhile, Shoal explains that Stinger was the first Kyuranger he found, and asked to use his strength to save the galaxy, but also use it to save his brother. Champ now fully understands Stinger's resolve, and wants to carry that burden with him, because if Stinger can't defeat his own brother, then Champ will. And the day is saved. Oh, neat rider kick. Sure wish Conraders and Getsu had a proper rider kick. The Kyurangers celebrate Kotaro going off into training, and Stinger doesn't want to say moo. Moo. 14. The Kyurangers go on several missions with Garu not being chosen once, making him feel like the unluckiest furry in the galaxy. Their next mission has them go to a super special awesome space hotel ran by Toei's favorite Magiello Ranger. And for once, Garu is randomly selected to go. Although, Garu keeps causing bad luck for Spada and Lucky, who try to infiltrate the hotel to free prisoners. It seems like nothing is going right, until Garu dresses up and causes the monster to fall for him. At the very least, Garu starts to believe in himself, and the day is saved. 15. Under the Q-tama is found on a beach planet, which Raptor really wants to go to. Unfortunately, there's not really much where they land, so it's business as usual and they fight dark matter. The team see a village nearby, given an offering to a sea god, who looks suspiciously like the dark matter monster they just fought. There's a little girl in the village that sees through the monster's scheme, but she stays quiet about it. Hammy sympathizes, because she was the same when dark matter attacked her own village. But Hammy learned to speak up and save her people. It's a good lesson, and I kinda like the episode, but that's about it. The Kyurangers get their Q-tama and the day is saved. Until the very end, where Stinger comes across Scorpio. 16. Marako joins to fight Champ, when Scorpio stings her and asks to meet with Stinger another time. Scorpio explains that he always planned to betray Donna Marge. He just needed to infiltrate their ranks and listen to their orders, no matter the cost. Professor Anton was killed because he worked with dark matter, so Scorpio ended his life. Stinger goes to talk with his brother and share intel. The big reveal here is that Scorpio sells out Stinger. Scorpio does want to defeat Donna Marge, but only to take the title for himself and become the strongest in the galaxy. Stinger is understandably upset, and is about to take Scorpio's finishing move, until Champ takes the hit. 17. The Kyuranger's next mission is to infiltrate a black dome while Kotaro gives them a brand new power-up. Yeah, there's way more detail, and I do like the episode. Again, there's just not much to say, for the story at least. The shiny Kyutama makes for a neat helmet though, and the moon looks like a banana. 18. Mariko steals a Kyutama. We don't actually see her do it, but she steals it and gets sucked into a black hole, when Lucky and Naga follow after her. This alerts a certain ranger of Special Patrol Deca Ranger, as well as a space sheriff. Space Sheriff Gavan Geki has a misunderstanding, thinking Mariko isn't a villain, so he fights Lucky and Naga. Meanwhile, Garu, Sho, and Hammy are arrested by the Deca Rangers. The basics out of the way, this is a pretty fun crossover, and it explains that the Kyurangers are from another universe without Super Sentai, or policemen apparently. Again, great crossover, there's just not much for story here. 19. The Kyurangers find a map that'll lead them to the next piece of the Argo. Meanwhile, Scorpio asks Donna Marge if he knows about the Argo, which Donna Marge tells him to stay out of it, confirming it'll be bad news for dark matter if the Argo was found. The Kyurangers travel to another planet for the Kyutama, but they're not given a warm welcome, except for Spada, who one of the local women, named Edis, falls for. Back on the Orion, Stinger knocks out Garu and Raptor, taking the two Argo Kyutama for himself. Edis explains that she was in love with her previous protector, one named Orion, and Lucky reminds her of him. Stinger asks Scorpio to team up, but this was a trap, as Stinger just wanted to fight him. 20. The Kyurangers hurry back to rescue Stinger, including Kotaro, who stops by Champ being repaired. Stinger poisoned himself to power up, but it still wasn't enough to stop Scorpio. The team watch a goodbye message Stinger left behind, wanting to fight his brother alone. Then Scorpio delivers his own message to bring despair to the people of Earth. Stinger remembers Scorpio fighting for him when they were young, but Stinger realized that strength started to warp Scorpio's mind. Civilians on the ground wanted the Kyurangers to leave Earth, believing they brought more harm than good. But in a great monologue, Lucky says the Kyurangers will be the saviors of the galaxy, no matter what. No, look at those cute Kyuranger plushies. I wish I had a Hammy one. Or Spada. The team fights Stinger when Kotaro pushes through to give Stinger an antidote. Stinger, Kotaro, and Lucky prepare for their battle against Scorpio. 21. Scorpio easily takes on the three of them, and then help arrives. Champ is fully repaired, and the four transform. Stinger delivers a finishing blow to Scorpio and holds on to him, as Scorpio hands him the Argo Kyutamas. Scorpio was blinded by power, but deep down, he knew he had people to protect, just like his brother. Donna Marge launches an attack, so Scorpio protects the Kyurangers with his final breath. However, the Earth will soon be destroyed from Donna Marge's army. The Kyurangers immediately summon the Argo, a ship that's holding a person. This person recognizes them as the Kyurangers. He is Otori Tsurugi, and while he doesn't really understand what's going on, he says there's no such thing as the Argo's secret power, but if he was the only one on it, he believes himself to be the ultimate legendary warrior. Tsurugi transforms. While coming off a bit cocky, it's not without backup, as Tsurugi takes on Donna Marge's army and kills Mariko with a single slash. Afterwards, Stinger makes a grave for his brother, and the Kyurangers welcome back Champ. Apparently, Kotaro was the one who knitted all the Kyuranger plushies. And finally, Stinger apologizes to his team. 22. Sho's next mission for the team is to look for Tsurugi and ask him how to defeat dark matter. Luckily, Tsurugi is right outside. He's still very full of himself, saying that his name should be in all of Earth's history books since he's a legend. He was the first to find the Kyutamas and unite the universe. Plus, he's 300 years old. Tsurugi doesn't want to be part of the team, since he has enough power to defeat dark matter on his own. At the very least, he wants Spada to be a chef and Raptor his assistant. The three go to Dark Matter University, where Tsurugi sees that at least the villains know of him. Tsurugi continues to be full of himself, saying Raptor was an android he designed and wasn't made for combat, while Spada as a chef shouldn't be fighting either. However, Spada and Raptor show that they might not be the most effective at direct combat. They try to outsmart monsters in other ways. Then we have our usual mecha fight, as Tsurugi shows he hid his own mecha in a mountain all this time. How many mountains in Japan are hiding giant fighting robots? And the day is saved. Afterwards, Tsurugi says he's killed Donna Marge before, so somehow Donna Marge has returned. 23. Tsurugi takes over the Dark Matter Broadcast Network and announces to the universe that the legendary warrior has returned, as well as being the only one to defeat Donna Marge. Lucky and the team arrive to help the civilians, with Lucky mentioning earlier how he doesn't like Tsurugi's attitude. Then one of Donna Marge's vice shoguns has appeared, meaning Donna Marge is getting desperate to deal with the Kyurangers. To make things worse, Raptor gets hurt, and Tsurugi says she and anyone else are just worthy sacrifices, so everyone else should be a shield. Of course, Lucky really wants to beat him up, but the team gets an incoming message from Edis. She explains that Tsurugi did find the first Kyutama and tried to unite the universe, but Donna Marge stopped him. Tsurugi gathered up a crew of 88 constellations to fight Donna Marge, including the man named Orion. Also, Tsurugi is immortal, or rather, was. He gave up his immortality and turned it into a power to defeat Donna Marge. Lucky confronts Tsurugi, knowing that they can't defeat Donna Marge alone, and that no one should be a shield, but Lucky will do his best, alongside his friends. And the day is saved. 24. The Kyurangers have official IDs, except Tsurugi. Buy it now on... Were they Premium Bandai? They seem like they would be. Tsurugi has a nightmare about losing his previous team, when one of the vice shoguns nearly defeats the Kyurangers. Sho notices that Tsurugi tried to protect Lucky, believing Tsurugi is still holding onto a heavy burden. Lucky goes to ask about this, so Tsurugi says that one of his old team members, named Cuervo, acted as a shield, and sacrificed himself while fighting Donna Marge. This made Tsurugi grow cold towards others, carrying the burden of being the only one who can fight dark matter. However, Lucky and Sho explain that this is not the case anymore, and that Tsurugi has a new team that are willing to fight together. One odd-looking mecha combination later, and the day is saved. Tsurugi also gets his own ID, agreeing that they'll save the universe together. Tsurugi explains he sent Raptor and Spada to search for a certain Kyutama that can control time. He wanted it specifically to see what happened after his battle with Donna Marge. 25. Kotaro wants to use the Kyutama to see his mom again, since she passed away a long time ago. The Kyurangers arrive on the planet where the Kyutama is held, and they each face a trial to confront someone from their past. Yeah, another trial tropes episode, not much to add here. What makes this one special is that not all the Kyurangers have to outright fight, as Sho just chills with Big Bear, and Kotaro has a nice moment with his mom. We also get our 12-man Kyuranger roll call. God, I love this show. The Kyurangers defeat Marako and the Vice Shogun. Then they get the super cool Time Kyutama and the day is saved. 26. Naga seems to be lost in thought, not concentrating on their current fight against dark matter. During a strategy meeting on how to use the Time Kyutama, Naga spouts out of nowhere that he's upset how he's been with the team for a while, but still hasn't learned emotions. Balance calms him down, saying they still have time. Back to the meeting, Tsurugi wants to go back in time to figure out how Donna Marge lived after their battle. The Kyurangers have a little party before heading out, when another Vice Shogun appears. The Vice Shogun tries to get through to Naga, saying she notices the emotions he has underneath, which gets him curious about her. Hammy tells Naga not to go with the Vice Shogun, but his people forbid emotions after getting into endless wars, so he wants to feel something again for his team. Naga decides to set his emotions free with the Vice Shogun. The Kyurangers find Naga, but he's turned into something different. His dark emotions are set free. What a great suit. The Kyurangers escape Naga's wrath as Hammy starts to beat herself up, feeling like she didn't get through enough to Naga. However, the Kyurangers have to try their best with two different objectives. One team will travel to the past with Tsurugi, while the rest will stay in the present to get Naga back. 27. Tsurugi's team travels back in time, when suddenly, a dark matter goon appears on the Orion. This one can talk, and explains that he's that one goon from that one time. Yeah, that one time. He was that mook who got blown up in episode 1. Tsurugi doesn't understand, so Spada explains that when they first found Lucky, that, hey wait, is this just a clip show? Oh man. F you, Kyuranger. You almost made me recap a clip show episode. The goons inside the ship are defeated and shows back blows out over the roll call. Same. 28. Lucky's team search for Naga, when suddenly, a woman who looks like Naga appears. Her name is Echidna. She explains if anyone from their universe gains emotions, then they must be eliminated. Meanwhile with Tsurugi, they successfully go back to the point where he defeats Donna Marge, and where Cuervo sacrificed himself. They don't quite notice anything odd just yet, but there is one other person with past Tsurugi. Speaking of the past, Balance reminisces when he first met Naga after attempting to steal something from his planet. Naga wanted a world with emotions and joy, so Balance promised to help him if they escaped together. In the present, Balance tries to get through to Naga by firing his rifle into the air, hurting both of them together. It seems Naga is still the same, but the team won't give up, as much as Echidna pressures them to end his life. Lucky's team suddenly get an alert about the Orion. They go to its location, only to find that it's been destroyed. Something in the past affected the present. 29. Lucky's team looks inside, and notice how dusty and broken everything is. They find the time Kyutama, so Lucky travels alone to find out what happened. Unfortunately, this is a one-way trip. Lucky arrives to find the team knocked out, except for one stranger, a man introducing himself as Orion. Orion defeats some monsters, so Lucky explains that Donna Marge is still alive in the future. The rest of the team wake up to confirm that it's true, and Donna Marge attacked the ship earlier. Spada suggests they go back in time again to defeat dark matter at their core, but there's only enough energy left in the Kyutama to travel to the present. Lucky, being the hard-headed hero, wants to challenge Donna Marge by himself, much to Orion's despair. The team continue fighting dark matter, even though the Vice Shoguns are much more powerful than them. During the fight, Donna Marge shows himself and one-shots Lucky. 30. The team barely escape with their lives, but Lucky isn't doing much better. Nearly out of options, Tsurugi suggests one more thing they can do, which involves his Phoenix Kyutama. Orion knows using that Kyutama could save Lucky, at the cost of Tsurugi's life. Tsurugi used it once before when he was stranded in space, though Lucky begs him not to do it. Donna Marge and his goons attack the Kyuranger ship, while the team defends Tsurugi and Lucky. They're all nearly defeated, until Lucky steps onto the battlefield, Tsurugi luckily alive. Together, Lucky and Orion create a miracle. Lucky is Orion's descendant, so the Leo constellations they both have combine to create Shishi Red Orion.
What's up? Change!
Okay, wait, have you noticed that Lucky and the suit actor look in slightly different directions, making this hard cut look a little off? It's not really a big deal, and I've noticed it in other toku. It just bothered me way more than I expected, and I was holding that in for years. Anyway, one super special awesome fight later, with Lucky summoning all the Kyuranger's weapons, and Donna Marge is defeated. Afterwards, Orion succumbs to an injury he's been hiding. But with Orion gone, someone has to stay behind to pass down the legends of the Kyurangers, so Shoal volunteers to do it, alongside Champ, cause he's a robot. The Kyurangers jump to the present, but it doesn't seem like anything's changed. Naga is still evil, and Donna Marge is alive. 31. Hammy and Balance are the only ones left after the other team members were captured by dark matter. Echidna is still here too. And luckily, Balance created a new Kyutama. The remaining team go to fight Naga, which kicks off their plan. Balance and Lucky turn microscopic, because they notice that the Vice Shogun's emotional takeovers actually came from microscopic dark matter monsters. Inside Naga, Balance finds a real Naga, and tries to get through to him. The Kyurangers cheer on Naga like the end of Evangelion, and the real Naga starts to tear up. Naga did want emotions, but happy ones, so he's set free, and cries out for his friends. Oh wait, isn't that this warehouse from One Shot of the Dead? That's a great movie. Yes, I'm gonna mention it every time. It's a great movie. Anyway, now that Naga is free, he can freely go into his power-up form without being evil. By the end, Naga apologizes for the trouble he's caused, and Echidna leaves. Naga also has some intel on where Donna Marge may be. 32. Naga says Donna Marge is in the Crux system. Not sure where exactly, just somewhere there. But before they can leave, dark matter attacks, and Tsurugi takes on the commander position. God, I love this show. After the Kyurangers fight some goons, Raptor explains the Orion ship is nearly out of power and may not be operational again. Raptor is really attached to the ship. Aside from it being her uncle, the ship's been with them since the beginning, and even saved Raptor. During a battle, a dark matter monster summons a giant ship to crash into the Earth, so the Orion uses the last of his strength to save the Kyurangers. With one more thumbs up and a good luck, the Orion is destroyed. Insert One Piece reference here. 33. Oh, no cold open this time? Interesting. The Kyurangers ponder on how Donna Marge has returned. Edis appears from out of nowhere and gives a message from Sho. He's been working hard in the past to bring them a present, the Battle Orion ship. The team find the ship near Orion's grave. In the ship is cold storage like the one Tsurugi was in. This one holds Shorompo. He tells a convoluted story on how he's been, which Naga is sure isn't true. Unfortunately, that's about it for the episode. The team get a new ship and Shorompo returns. I should have said brand new ship. Hey wait, where's Champ? Sho says Champ left before being put into the cold chamber in search of Professor Anton. 34. That's my line. The Kyurangers fight a Vice Shogun, with Champ standing alongside him. However, Champ attacks the Kyurangers when another Champ appears. Or rather, he says he's not Champ. This is Yagyu Beef. Well, the other not Champ is a prototype version that's evil from Dark Matter. So the rest of the episode is getting Yagyu Beef back to normal, or Champ back to normal, and it's a great episode. Really funny that Garu is the only one who actually believes Champ, but it goes about the way you expect. Stinger continues his character development, and Champ officially returns to the team. Oh yeah, that evil not Champ and a Vice Shogun are defeated too. 35. Naga remembers the exact location of Donna Marge, so the team set off. The Kyurangers watch a concert by Hoshi Minato, the famous hotel singer artist Magiello guy. Hammy is a big fan, and doesn't want to believe Minato is evil, so the team go investigate what he knows. Skipping through most of the episode here, Naga doesn't believe Hammy's love for Minato is real, when we get some nice backstory of how Hammy first heard Minato sing on her home planet. Then suddenly, Donna Marge appears! Yeah, he possessed him for like a second. Kind of an abrupt way to end this episode's recap, but that's about it. 36. When Lucky was young, he was told he'll find a way into the future, no matter how hard things get. Lucky wakes up from a dream. It was about him and his dad. Hoshi Minato begins an uprising with people across the galaxy, telling them to fight back against dark matter, because the Kyurangers will be there. The Kyurangers fly into the Leo system, and land on Lucky's home planet. There, Lucky finds his old pet mecha, Caesar, and Grandpa. Lucky first started traveling under the guise of just wanting to see the universe, but secretly, he really wanted answers, like what happened to his parents. During a fight, Lucky's grandpa tries to protect him, because Lucky is royalty. His father is Aslan, the king of the Leo system. Aslan placed Lucky with his grandpa to stay in hiding to protect him. After the battle, Grandpa explains that another reason why Lucky shouldn't see his real home is because Aslan surrendered the planet to dark matter. 37. The Kyurangers visit Lucky's real home and see that it's in ruins, and the king is despised. The king delivers a speech, saying that anyone who doesn't submit to dark matter will be executed. Lucky is attacked trying to protect civilians, so he's taken to be executed. Tsurugi devises a plan, noticing that some of the monsters they fought were made of sand, and that the king isn't how Lucky described. At the execution, Lucky asks where his real dad is, figuring out the monster scheme. Lucky realizes that the real king, his real father, passed away long ago to save the planet, so Lucky will fight to avenge him. The monster is defeated, Lucky is crowned king, and the day is saved. 38. The Kyurangers need for a Kyutama to break through Donna Marge's barrier to confront him. They already found one in the previous episode, so the next planet holding the Kyutama has a team go through trials. Again, as much as I don't care much for another episode of Trials, it's kind of funny that again, these mostly aren't combat based at all, like doing 9,999 sit-ups, or the fan service trial, or the staring contest trial. Another Kyutama is obtained and the day is saved. 39. Lucky's team, separate from Tsurugi's, go to a planet from one of the other barrier Kyutama. Monaco appears once again, and transports Lucky's team into a game ran by Professor Anton's brain. Oh hey, I love Dragon Quest. 9 is the best one. More cool partnership between Champ and Stinger later, and the day is saved with them getting the third barrier Kyutama. 40. It's a baseball episode. Yeah, there's a surprising or unsurprising amount of baseball episodes in Sentai. I don't mean to skim over these like I have in the past, there's just not much to recap. The Kyurangers play a full game of baseball. Spada gets some focus in this one. And the final barrier Kyutama is found. 41. With all 4 Kyutama gathered, the team prepared to storm the Crux system and take on Donna Marge. The team must travel through Hell's Gate to get to the Southern Cross, where Donna Marge's base is held. Dude, all that sounds incredible. I love Super Sentai. As the Kyurangers start their journey to the end, a new challenger approaches, specifically looking for Lucky. A really cool Monster of the Week fight later, trust me it hurts skipping over it, and Lucky fights a mysterious challenger, who turns out to be Lucky's dad, Aslan, and is possessed by Donna Marge. 42. The team hurry into the Southern Cross, which is way bigger than it appears inside. Tsurugi also mentions Lucky has to choose either between Aslan or saving the galaxy. A majority of this episode has the Kyurangers fighting against the dark matter forces, including Aslan. Lucky soon decides he wants to save the galaxy and his dad. After a battle, Tsurugi flies off, since Donna Marge wanted to speak with him personally. The final battle draws near. 43. The Kyurangers continue pushing through the dark matter base. Donna Marge first wanted to chat, but instead shows his true form to Tsurugi. Meanwhile, Lucky frees Aslan from Donna Marge's control. Speaking of which, Donna Marge appears, not in his true form, saying that his base is a bomb that's large enough to destroy the entire universe. Donna Marge is shaken off for now, but the bomb is still going to blow. Balance creates a device that can detonate it into a black hole, but Donna Marge destroyed parts of it, meaning someone has to manually activate the black hole, being sucked into it as well. Aslan volunteers to stay behind, as the planet is wiped out. By the way, this is also a Christmas episode! Merry Weisel, everyone. 44. The Pegasus Kyutama returns. Funnily enough, a quarter of the episode is a clip show to explain what happened since that Pegasus dancing episode. After that, the Kyurangers investigate a planet where dark matter is harvesting powder for their planet-busting bombs. This episode also has some of the team use suit power-ups at the same time. It's pretty neat. The Moon Kyutama still looks like a banana. After a battle, Donna Marge wishes to reveal his true form. It turns out, Donna Marge is Cuervo. Mostly. The real Donna Marge was nearly defeated long ago by Tsurugi, but then he possessed Cuervo's body, who was also nearly dead. Donna Marge plans to take his final assault onto a planet that all the Kyurangers are fond of. Of course, that planet being Earth. 45. Just like how Lucky had a choice to save the galaxy or his dad, Tsurugi has a similar decision between his friend or the universe. The Kyurangers arrive on Earth and see the Planet Buster, as well as Kotaro's little brother Jiro. Tsurugi makes up his mind and is willing to defeat Donna Marge, even if that means killing Cuervo. However, Cuervo reveals that while he was dying, he was the one who made a deal with Donna Marge to share a body. Tsurugi takes a shot for Lucky, and says that his own body is fading. The Phoenix Kyutama's power to revive Lucky is running out to keep Tsurugi alive. The Kyurangers gather, sad to see it's almost Tsurugi's time to go, but are hopeful for the future, even saying what they wish to do once dark matter is defeated. The Monster of the Week is blown up and the day is saved. Back on the ship, it's the final Q-Let chance, as all the Kyurangers will be sent to protect Earth one last time. The theme song's opening visual is recreated with the team untransformed, as they admire the Earth's beauty. 46. The Kyurangers split off to destroy the Planet Buster. Lucky and Tsurugi fight Don Cuervo Amargue. It's one long battle, but a cool thing is that Don Amargue sends Lucky to despair, showing him an alternate ending where the Kyurangers fail to save the Earth. And so, through the power of friendship, Cuervo is released from Don Amargue, And after all this time, Tsurugi apologizes. He always thought of Cuervo as a friend, but never truly understood his feelings. Cuervo doesn't care about that now, so Tsurugi lays him to rest. However, this was also part of Donna Marge's plan, as he takes over Tsurugi's body in order to gain the power of immortality. Shodanpo is taken too. 47. Donna Marge begins to absorb Earth's energy. Raptor believes Donna Marge will be at full power in 99 hours, so the Kyurangers are forced to fight soon. Each Kyuranger knows this is the end, and try to make peace with themselves. Then, it's time. The Kyurangers battle through the dark matter forces, although each member starts to fall one by one. Then, they're absorbed by Donna Marge. Lucky admits he hated Tsurugi at first, but grew to be his friend. And so, with the power of friendship, Lucky releases all his friends, including Tsurugi, from Donna Marge. There's an actual explanation on how they escaped, but who cares? Time for the final battle.
Space Final! 宇宙に響け! よっしゃラッキー!
Episode 48. Let it ring through the galaxy. Yosha Lucky. The Kyurangers absolutely wallop on Donna Marge, but then he just throws it all back. Donna Marge explains he himself was born from all the unluckiness and despair from the universe, but Lucky says they'll just fight back with their own luck. So the Kyurangers perform their final roll call, suitless. Such a shame I can't show the whole thing, and even though I much prefer helmetless final roll calls, Kyurangers is definitely up there. Wait, Spada's voice is so high here. And so, through the power of friendship and the 88 constellations, Donna Marge's final form is defeated again. Then, through the power of Lucky's luck, Donna Marge is defeated, for real this time. 2 years later, Stinger has been promoted to commander, with Kotaro and Raptor on his team. The former Kyurangers meet up at Spada's legendary restaurant, except for Lucky, who travels the universe as a king to help people along the way, and Garu is with them too. Of course, they wouldn't miss the restaurant gathering for the world. The Earth is safe for now, all thanks to the saviors of the galaxy. As if I didn't say it enough. Yes, I'm overly positive about Kyuranger. Maybe too much. So let's rip the band-aid right off. I feel like I've seen this show be talked about with a lot of interest, but I also hear the same single negative. Lucky is annoying. Kinda. Can't believe I'm actually defending Lucky here. Outside of episode 1, he calms down quite a lot, then calms down even more after the first quarter, and then I don't even remember if he said Yosha Lucky that much during the endgame. At first, the big personality did turn me away from the show. Then they reveal that Lucky has a tragic backstory answering why he's the way he is, and I can't be more annoyed or upset by that. It's kind of funny that there's an episode early on that explains why Lucky deserves to be the leader, and even after that, they give more reasons with examples and I think Lucky did turn out to be a pretty good leader. At the very least, he's not a Mary Sue. He shows obvious flaws, while also helping those around him, which again, I think makes a good lead. To get some more negatives out of the way, time travel? Really? I get space and time is the sci-fi trope, but I immediately cringe at any inclusion of time travel plots. Luckily, Kyuranger does handle it good enough by keeping it to a minimum. The obvious thing to ask is, why not just travel to the point where Donna Marge is created and just kill him there? We learned that he's more like the embodiment of an idea rather than a physical thing, so he couldn't just be destroyed that easily until it's time for the super awesome finale finisher kick thing. So Tsurugi wanted to find out how Donna Marge lived after the battle, and that's probably the next best idea. Otherwise, we have the typical trope of changing the past, changing the future, which is also kept to a minimum. A good thing that came out of this was how the team had to be split up for Naga. It's really fun storytelling. The time travel aspect still makes me not like it on principle, though honestly, it could have been worse. I just still don't like it. Next, 13 Rangers and only 2 are girls? With one being a robot? Come on. And finally, as much as I love the Ranger suits, I don't think they look very good on a desert backdrop, except for maybe Stinger for obvious reasons. Okay, all the negatives out of the way. God, I love this show. The suits each being unique while having the same base design is genius, on top of the helmets having the sparkle effect that I wish was done more often for Toko suits. Their civilian outfits are unique too, not in the way you think, but some of the Rangers wear their jackets differently. Champ wears his on his shoulder, Balance is painted on. You can tell something about the characters by how they wear their jackets, which I love in character building. And yes, of course, I love whole soldier's helmet within a helmet thing. So, why do I like Kyuranger so much? Outside of the base numbers of Rangers being higher than usual, is it actually good? Or am I hyping this up more than I should? Starting out with 9 Rangers is a really good hook, so of course I would bring some interest to new viewers. Plus the suits being this amazing, well, even better. As I've said before, the aesthetics may look good, but there should be more substance. Super Sentai is normally episodic, and Kyuranger kind of feels like that, but it has way more serialized stories than episodic ones. And those serialized stories are told very well. It reminds me a lot of Die Ranger, where a few Rangers had the main focus, while the rest of the Rangers were support, but still had something to do with the main Rangers. For example, Stinger has a story to find his brother, but intertwined is Champ, who is connected through the death of the professor. Kotaro is then introduced without having a real connecting point for Stinger's backstory, but is introduced as a pathos for the main story Stinger, as well as the other team members. Now, I know others would bring up characters like Hammy and Spada not having that much focus, but there's a reason why I didn't mention them as negatives. I think each character does have a good amount of focus and screen time, especially in what's needed to tell the main stories. Besides that, Spada, Raptor, and Hammy do get focused episodes. I kinda skimmed them, but even if they weren't part of the recap, those episodes were still good for characterization and to show why they're important to the team. Again, yeah, they could be better, but for what we got, I think it's still pretty good. Of course, bringing up the world building, thank God the show wasn't 100% about the Earth. I remember when this show was first airing live, when shows said that their first main objective was to liberate Earth, and my timeline was complaining about how there was still so much potential, but yeah, that didn't turn out to be the case. While a lot of time is spent on Earth, they still travel through space and other planets more than I thought. The world building on these planets are great too. I like learning about what makes some stand apart, and how some inhabitants and other aliens have an actual visual change rather than being minimal makeup. The baseball planet is also really funny. I normally don't bring up villains in these short reviews since, well, what you see is what you get for the most part in shows like these. But man, Dark Matter and Donna Maraga are fantastic. We actually get to see how menacing they are. Ruling over planets, always lurking in the background when you least expect it, and Donna Maraga is truly the force he's supposed to be. His constant revivals and clones don't annoy me, unlike a certain video game related show. Because Donna Maraga is purely the embodiment of negative energy. It's not a metaphor. He's truly despair that keeps coming back, and man, in fewer words, yes, I think Kyuranger is a good show. A great show. I love the characters, the action, and the story. I love Uchu Sentai Kyuranger. Funnily enough, it's not even on my top 5 favorite Sentai. With all that being said, join me next time when we find out who's the strongest in Super Sentai Strongest Battle. The entire universe has been taken over by Dark Matter. And yes, it is in another dimension, so that's why these heroes aren't helping. But luckily, we still have these guys.
Wait! If it's 1,000,000 to 3, why did we get out our Zords?
Who needs Zords when you have muscles, baby?
But you're a robot! You don't have muscles!
Baby, just shut up and morph.
It's morphin' time!
Baby.
We ran out of time. We have to switch scenes or we're going to get copyright issues.
Really? Ugh, damn it!